Okay, wait, hold on. We're gonna start that again. Hi everyone, and welcome to the first episode of TEDI, Tea with EDI, first episode of 2025. Last year was our first year doing TEDI. But Genesis, do you want to tell them where we're at?
So really quickly, I just want to tell you guys that we are located in the Churchill, room 222. So if you have a chance, come by and say hi or just hang out.
And we're so excited for you guys to listen and learn more about us, EDI, and what it is we do here. So this first episode is going to be a pretty short one, but we'll just be introducing ourselves just so you guys can know more about who we are. Do you want to start off?
So I'm Genesis Rodriguez.
And I'm Frida Vargas.
I'm from Washington State. I am majoring in media innovation to go into advertising. My background is I'm Mexican. My mom's from Durango, Mexico. And I'm a freshman.
So I am from Anchorage, Alaska. And I am a first-gen Mexican-American. My dad was born in California but raised in Mexico, and my mom is from Mexico City. I have an older sister and two younger brothers, so I am a middle child. And I'm a junior here at SOU. I also play on the women's soccer team. And yeah, I'm majoring in business administration with a concentration in marketing. And I don't know what I want to do yet, but I'm thinking possibly going into immigration law or marketing analyst, two different things. What are you majoring in?
Yeah, I'm majoring in media innovation to go into advertising and hopefully get into an advertising agency. And then later on, hopefully get a certificate in marketing.
Oh, that's so cool.
Yeah.
So something I'm really excited about, just like a fun fact, is I will be going to Chicago in like 2 weeks to go to the United States Hispanic Leadership Conference. And it's a pretty big thing in the US, but if you guys have never heard about it, it's just a leadership conference for students with a Hispanic background. And we just learn more about being leaders, more about networking, more about different career paths, and also resources that there are. So what are you excited about?
I don't know. I'm excited about working here in the office. It's just something that I look forward to every single day that I'm scheduled. Outside, I just go to the gym, hang out with my sweet mates.
How do you feel about your first year being on campus?
I think it's very different just because of where I come from. Like, it's very much like I grew up in a very Hispanic community.
Yeah.
And like seeing like, you know, more diversity, more cultures is just very like eye-opening.
Yeah. Did you go to a big high school or a small?
No, it was really small. We were, I think our graduating class was less than 60. Less than 60.
Yeah, I always thought that being in Anchorage, like, it was gonna be small, because my parents always told me, like, this is small. But really, it wasn't. It was just isolated. There was just nothing around us. But I think being here now, it's like, there are smaller places than where I came from.
Yeah, that is very true.
So we do want to talk about what the purpose of EDI is. So EDI stands for Equity, Diversity, and Inclusion. And so, well, what do you think is the purpose of EDI?
I think the purpose is just to create like a safe space for those with like diverse backgrounds and just spreading the light more on, you know, those with more diversity.
I agree. I also think that the purpose of EDI is to provide equal opportunity to everyone. People who come from different backgrounds, different places, people who speak different languages. I think that all of that is diversity and it's important, but I also think that it's important that everyone has the same access to resources. So how do you think that EDI can benefit you in your future?
I think it's like an opportunity to just explore my career and see what I really want to go into and explore my career path and just network and create new connections.
I agree. I think networking is probably one of the most important things about going to college. I think that getting a degree is obviously very important, but networking overall, I think, is what kind of pushes you out there to obviously more job opportunity and everything. But I do agree with you. I think that Also, being aware of the different people that you're around. I think working here at EDI, I've like noticed the different people that are around me. Like we have the
Absolutely.
Native Nations next to us, and I've learned a lot about them and their culture. I think all of that can benefit you in the future because you learn how to work with people who are different from you. You know, it's like it's easy to work with people who are the same backgrounds, but I think it makes you more understanding for those like that you don't have that much experience with.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I think that's also part of the reason why I wanted to go into immigration law is because I think that it's a field that needs a lot more people in it. It's always something that I've always thought of, but I think being here at EDI, it makes me realize the importance of having people and having representation in those areas.
Absolutely, I agree with you.
Yeah, I also think that EDI can help you learn about being more equitable. I think that sometimes in workplace environments, we don't realize that some of the practices that we're doing aren't as equitable as we think. Yeah, that's just what I think.
Absolutely. I think I've been exposed more to it here, especially like I said, like in a Hispanic community where we're all alike.
Yeah.
You know, there's not much you could see. You're not really exposed to many other cultures.
Yeah.
And just seeing the differences here and seeing like the diversity between the students, it's just, like I said, eye-opening.
Yeah.
You know, being exposed to all of that, and you know, we're all different. We come from different backgrounds.
There needs to be more people like you in those areas, and those people who can share their experiences. Because all my teachers right now are white men, and I love my teachers, and they're really good teachers. But I do think that it's important to also have people like you and people with different backgrounds to share what they've learned from being in advertising. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, I absolutely agree with that.
Okay, so how do we feel about inclusion at this school? Do you want to start?
I think it's very opening here in Ashland in general. I think SOU is very inclusive, and they do a really good job of making sure that everyone feels included. And there's no judgment here. Like I've noticed that, like you could dress however you want, you can express yourself however you want. There's simply no judgment.
I agree. I think that's one of the things I like about Ashland the most and SOU is that it's so like free. There's so much freedom to do basically to be who you want to be. And I think that's really important, especially in a college like campus. I think being able to see all the people being themselves allows you to go out into the world and be like, okay, like not everything, we don't have to follow all the societal norms. We don't have to follow everything. Yeah, so how do we contribute to EDI?
Do you want to start this one off?
I'll start it off.
Okay.
So I think for me, I contribute to EDI by, I think, sharing my opinions, sharing my experiences, and also volunteering. I think that being part of groups on campus like the Latino Student Union allows me to contribute to EDI on campus because we work really hard with LSU to make sure that everyone sees us, to make sure that everyone knows that LSU is there, to make sure that everyone knows like what is our culture, to break down stereotypes like this is not what we do, this is like part of our culture, this is not. There are a lot of stereotypes about our culture in the US, and I think that being part of LSU and sharing that with campus allows us to be like, hey, like this is the type of things that we do, like Dia de los Muertos is this, it's not this, Cinco de Mayo is not what you think it is. So I think that allows us to kind of break down stereotypes and be like, okay, this is our culture, and I think that's really important. Another thing I think is volunteering. So I don't know if you guys know, but have you heard about the youth programs on campus?
I have heard of.
The youth programs does a lot to basically provide resources and opportunities to young students, basically like high schoolers, middle schoolers. Tomorrow they have a Latino Family Day where they bring Latino families on campus and they get to experience what it is being on a college campus. I think volunteering for those types of events, those types of organizations, contribute to being inclusive on campus, if that makes sense.
Absolutely. And how have you sought volunteering?
I think everything kind of started with the Latino Student Union. You know, I saw them at the club fair and I was like, this is cool. I joined, and my first year, that's kind of where I met everyone. That's where I met Jonathan, our boss. That's where I met, I don't know if you met Genesis Baez.
Yes, I have.
That's where I met her. I kind of met most of the researchers through there, so if you guys are thinking about joining clubs, you should. But yeah, I think that's kind of where I got started, and it's helped me meet a lot of people. And Jonathan has helped me meet people as well. Yeah. What do you?
I have to agree with that. I just like to create like a positive atmosphere, especially like with other people that I socialize with. I like to be very positive and open-minded, and helping others feel that comfort that, you know, sometimes I wish I had.
Yeah.
So I mean, by doing that, it's just like starting to make that comfortable environment, you know, for other people. Just because, I mean, like I said, you know, there's people from different backgrounds, whether that's like you're part of the LGBTQ, you're Latino, you're whatever your background is, however you identify as well. I just want to help others feel comfortable with themselves and feel open, you know, like there's not a lot of that, especially like I think in our culture, it's very much like traditional.
Yes,
you know, they're very close-minded.
Yeah.
And I've never liked that. You know, I've always been one to express myself and my feelings and communicate how I feel. And I think it's really hard for, especially like my family.
Yeah.
They're like not open. They're very closed off. And yeah, it's very hard like for them to like express themselves emotionally.
Yeah.
So I think trying to help other people do that is just, it's really important. You know?
I agree. I think, I think sharing your experiences and your opinions is how you do that, you know?
Exactly.
Really just starting to talk about it is really how you do that. So we want to end this episode with telling you guys what the point of this podcast is. So the podcast, from our perspective, was to kind of just share our experiences and share what we do at EDI with the students, and we want this to be a resource for students, new students, transferring students, or students who have been on campus for a minute. We just want you guys to hear from us.
I think with this like podcast in general could just help like share those experiences, like you were saying, and help connect with others, and hopefully, you know, they're able to relate to us, or at least in some perspective.
Yeah, and we're looking forward in the next couple episodes to bring different people on the podcast, people from different departments on campus, staff, or students, to kind of just share what they do and what they want you guys to know. So stay tuned for our next podcast. We'll most likely have guests.